What's up, guys? It's me, Tim, with the Gutter Growth Live podcast for live today. I have Chelsea. I should have asked you how to pronounce your last name.
Phernetton. It's just scary. PH is an F.
Phernetton. Okay.
Yep.
And Chelsea's with CLIPA, so glad to have you on today, Chelsea. How are you doing?
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me. Doing good. How about you?
Pretty good. Really good. We're going to be giving out a free Gutter Summit ticket today on the live. In order to qualify that, you just got to type in growth in the comments, and you'll qualify to get put in a raffle. We will be giving out one today, so we're excited to have you guys here at the Gutter Summit this year. We're actually going to have on pre-show day you guys doing Christmas light certifications.
Yes, it'll be a lot of fun. I know a lot of people ask, easy add-on for anyone who's already in the gutter business. I don't really know if anybody knows about it. Should I give an intro on like what CLIPA is, just so people?
Yes.
So CLIPA stands for the Christmas Light Installation Pros Association. We have been training small business owners around the U.S. and Canada since 2017 to add holiday lighting to their current service-related business. So we have a lot of experience. Our corporate office is located in Southern California. What makes us unique is that we are also an installation company. We only do commercial installations now, but we work with shopping centers, cities, casinos, all in Southern California and Vegas, which is really, really cool. So we like to just take our knowledge, what we've learned, what to do and what not to do, and then we share that with you guys. And we give you a bunch of really awesome resources too. So it's not like we just train you and we're like, good luck, Tim. Hope it works out. We kind of like make sure we hold your guys' hand the whole time and walk you through on how to be successful. I always say, I'm like, anyone can learn how to hang Christmas lights. Like, it's not that difficult. I can watch YouTube. I put Christmas lights on my own house. But what we really teach you guys is like, how do I run a business and how do I be profitable? A lot of people are like, I just want to break even the first year. And that like sets my head on fire. I'm like, business to break even? Like, I don't know what that's like. So we want everyone to be successful. So I always say, like, we give you the recipe for this perfect cake. It's an award-winning cake. If you follow that recipe to a T, you will be successful, and so that's what we want to give you guys in that training is we're combining it now for the Gutter Summit into one day. So we're going to fast track you guys into getting into Christmas since it's already going to be September. So by the time you leave that training, you're ready to rock and roll. You just need to do some training and onboarding with your staff, get some marketing, roll out some yard signs and some marketing, update your site and start selling Christmas. That's the goal.
And that's how I got into Christmas lights, because I took your guys' CLIPA course, and it was super helpful. And it wasn't just learning it's just all the systems. Like, you're learning how to not only install it, but how to take it down and store it properly, and having the right type of business model. Like, the leasing model was great. I would have had no idea that I should do a leasing model had I not come to CLIPA. And when I went there, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And this year I'm probably set to do about 800,000. Already have all the lights purchased. So, I mean, it's a great business. And this is the time, which is so good for gutter guys. It's the time that they're slowing down. Like, they're slowing down towards Christmas, and January's super slow. So it's a great add-on service that you could add on and increase the revenues. And you don't have to even go as aggressive as I did. Like, if someone did $50,000 added onto their business and they're doing a leasing model, that next year, not only are they keeping their guys busy, maybe they're doing 100,000 that year, but that $50,000 is almost all profit other than labor, because you already own the lights.
Yep, exactly. You bring up a really good point. With gutter guys, I always notice they're like, oh, well, we're usually just like one and done. And I'm like, okay, imagine you could make this money every year, but your operating costs will go down. Every year. Yeah. That's recurring revenue. And I know some of the guys are like, no way. And I'm like, yes way. It's that great. And it's not always like about doing $1 million in 6 weeks. Oftentimes, like you said, it's just keeping those guys busy, keeping that like solid labor that like makes your business what it is, keeping them around and keeping them employed and putting some extra money in their pocket during the holidays.
Because it starts kicking off in October and November. And I know November is kind of when a lot of people start slowing down, because you got Thanksgiving and you got Christmas coming up. And then January, everyone spent all their money and they're kind of recouping, and no one really spends a lot of money in January. So it's like in January, we're doing takedowns. So you have something to keep that crew busy, keep them going. For those that just jumped on, if you comment the word growth or raffle will work, we're going to be giving out one free Gutter Summit ticket today. So that'll qualify you to get into the raffle. So if you can just type in the comments grow, that qualifies you. What's up, John? Mr.
𝗪𝗂𝗥𝗘. Hi, John.
And we are live, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to also drop questions in the comments. I'm happy to answer it. We have Chelsea with CLIPA here today, and they're going to be at the Gutter Summit on September 22nd, the day before the Gutter Summit kicks off. They're going to be doing a full day of Christmas light training certifications. So you'll have a chance to add that on to your ticket when you purchase.
Yeah, and we're doing also, so it's a one-day event. If you're just coming to the training, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to go to Gutter Summit, which would be crazy. It would be $9.95. But anyone who's already coming to Gutter Summit, you guys get a discount. So it's just $7.95 for the first attendee. And then if you're bringing anyone else from your same company, it's just $2.95 each additional attendee. So if you want to bring like you and your like crew leader, whoever that is, it's just a small investment to start adding the service on.
Which is a great deal, by the way, because I think I paid like somewhere around $1,700, you know, and so you're going to cram it all into one day, but they're going to walk away certified, being able to do installs.
And I'm sure some people here are like, what is the certification? What does that mean? So some really cool stuff. We don't just train you and let you go. We actually have a portal that we give you access to after you've completed our training, where we have a bunch of training videos that are all currently being redone. We have modules, so you could have employees go on there and take a test and watch some videos and learn about some products. We have contract examples, form examples, downloads, photo examples. We have a bunch of really great stuff. On top of that, what we also include for you is ongoing support. So we have year-round staff that are here. They're actually all on the live right now, probably sharing, tagging, and liking this. But all of the ladies in the office are super helpful, and they're here to guide you to make sure that you feel supported when it comes to doing your first estimate, purchasing product, bidding out any big jobs that you're doing, whatever it is. We want to make sure that you guys are set up and ready to go. So that's also included with the training. So, and I don't want you guys too to think like, oh, Christmas is just like a small season. We're like always talking Christmas and always selling year round. So, and Tim, I was just talking to Tim before this, and Tim, you're out here selling stuff.
I got 7 estimates tomorrow.
That's amazing. That's
yeah.
And it's April.
It's April. Yeah. I did a little email blast, just at the commercial space. And so I got like a lot of HOA entrances and stuff that I'm looking at right now.
Perfect.
But no, going back to like the support that you guys give after that first year, like when you're getting into Christmas lights, you know, there's a lot to learn, right? But it's pretty easy. It's not taking you a year to learn how, like installing gutters might take you 6 months to a year. You could teach someone how to install lights in like a day or two. So that was super intriguing because, you know, it's easy to hire people. That's like a big problem for a lot of companies, is getting someone skilled in place or getting someone trained. Super easy. But after I took that course, I had so many questions, and I think I was calling Courtney like every other day. And yeah, she spent a lot of time with me. But it helps. Like I was in the middle of the season. I'm trying to do quotes. I don't know how to quote. Like what price should I have reset? You know, and she was there to go ahead and answer that for me. So it's not just the certification that you get with you guys, but it's also the support that you'll continue to get afterwards. It's super invaluable.
For sure. We always say we have some guys and ladies that will call, like, you know, we'll hear from them once or twice a year. And then we have some people we talk to every single day. And
that was an annoying one.
And we're like, yeah, it's fine. I'd rather have you call me every day than call me when something's wrong. And then you're like, I need to fix this. I'm like, no. Let's just troubleshoot together on the phone. So, so we're used to it. We're always happy to help. I always tell people, I'm like, I'm on FaceTime all the time with people on roofs, like however we can support you guys. Because we know like time is of the essence, and you don't really have any time in season to not be making money. It's the truth.
Correct. And for those, I know people are jumping on and off, but for those that are jumping on right now, we are giving out one free Gutter Summit ticket. All you got to do is comment the word grow, and that will qualify you. Or you could comment raffle. I see a few people commenting raffle. That'll work too. We know what you mean.
Yeah, but Christmas is really fun. I know you were saying too, for the gutter guys, they tend to slow down in November. If it's your first season and people haven't hung lights, typically your first job is around November 15th. So that's perfect. You only keep the guys, you're selling, you're getting the guys moving, and then we install all the way up until Christmas Eve, just depending on who the client is and what you have going on. Obviously, it slows down the closer you get to Christmas, but keeps everybody pretty busy, and it's a lot of fun. I would say obviously how much you can make depends on like how big your crew is, what equipment you already have, how many vehicles you have, and then how you're going to market. All of those things come into play.
I was able to get a 3-man crew to accomplish about 9,000 a day per crew. I was running 2 crews.
Perfect.
So where did I get my necklace from? This was my grandfather's. He wore it for 40 years. He had it custom made. And this is just a cheap gold necklace I got at a pawn shop. Let's see. Tim Crouch is an everyday, all day. Yep. Yeah, this year, I mean, it's going to be I'm pretty excited about this year. The first year I was profitable, but I just love it because every year you're more profitable. Because every year you're buying a new product that you're not going to have to buy the following year. And it lasts for 4 or 5 years or whatnot.
Yeah. And then once you start to build your inventory and you have it, and you have a good job of like, the hard part with that is like organizing it. Then I know like, okay, I have this job or whatever. I have these clients. Now I can rotate that out and reuse that product. And I don't have to buy anything. That's always like the key thing is, how can I reuse that stuff? And a lot of it's timeless. Your classic warm whites, your multicolors, that's the stuff that people will always sell. That's easy peasy. And then greenery. We love greenery. Greenery is really expensive, but I always tell people, I'm like, you'll make a lot of money if you offer greenery.
That's true. I actually didn't do too much greenery the first 2 years just for like storage reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting more into it this year because I did a couple greenery jobs last year. I mean, I was selling a lot of wreaths, but I didn't do too much garland because it was just so big and I didn't have the storage for it.
Yep.
But it's great money in it. You get $250 for putting a 9-foot strand out, and then you own that. So the next year you're doing it again. I mean, there is no business I think that's as profitable as a Christmas light business in the home service space.
Oh, for sure.
As far as margins wise goes, right? Because like this year I'm gonna do 800,000 easy. And like literally all I have is my labor, which is probably going to run me about 15%. And I'll have marketing costs and office costs, but that's a pretty profitable business for being my 4th season. And realistically, the business is only 3 years old because I started it the month before I got rolling. So,
yep.
And
we always say too, like that's why now we're trying to extend past the holiday. We're like, how do we do that? We offer permanent lighting. Obviously, permanent lighting isn't for everyone. Michael's asking about electrical issues. Really quick, I'll finish my thought. But permanent lighting is another big thing that's picking up. We were talking about too, obviously, during Christmas, you see a big influx in it. However, it's one of those things. I always say I'm like, ooh, permanent lighting, like who would want that? And I always have to remind myself, like, I'm not my customer. They're out there. If somebody wants it, I believe in it. I understand that it's something that looks great. They can control it with their phone. And it's usually what I've noticed. The people who really want it are like the dads who are like in their mid-50s. They're not allowed on the roof anymore. They want something fun. They feel like it's techie. They can control it with their phone and they can see it as an investment for their home. Those are the people that I'm like, oh, they really like it. And they'll also pay for it. And we're not talking about 𝗀𝘃. We're not talking about 𝗀𝘃s.
That stuff's junk.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about something a little bit more high end, and that's your target client for Christmas is upper middle class. That's what we have to remember. That's who we're marketing to.
Actually, I know a gutter guy that I can't remember his name, but he gives out like 50 feet of permanent lighting on every gutter install. And then he gets a lot of upsells to where they want to finish it out because he's only giving them so much amount of footage. Yeah. I don't know how he makes that work, but it's causing him to sell a lot of lights. I'm actually putting out about 800 yard signs right now for the permanent lighting, so we'll see how that goes.
Good, yeah.
So how do you deal with electrical issues? Usually what I personally do, first off, like in this industry, you have to, when they have issues, you got to show up within like 24 or 48 hours. You can't let people go a week without lights. They're paying to enjoy the lights. So you do have to go out right away. That's probably the only downside of the business when things happen. but I have a troubleshooting sheet that I give them, and a lot of times, I'd say like 9 out of 10 times, it's just popping the GFI. Maybe it rained and it popped out or something, and and if I can't talk them through it on the phone, and we just go out there, and it's usually something stupid. Sometimes a lawn guy cuts a wire, and you're just there real quick splicing it. But other than that, I don't really have too many issues. It's just that's the nature of the business.
Yeah.
You got any input on that?
Yeah, totally. So water and obviously electricity never mix. So anytime there's like heavy rain, you're probably going to have some issues. But I love the idea of handing them a troubleshooting sheet, because like Tim said, most of the time it can easily be rectified. A lot of times too, it's like them doing something dumb, plugging a bunch of stuff in, overloading it, plugging like their inflatables or all of their stuff they have on the porch into your timer or something like that. So anything that you can do to walk them through troubleshooting is always the goal. And the one thing with Christmas is you're an exterior decorator. You're not hardwiring anything. Yes, maybe you're custom cutting, making your own extension cords, but this is temporary lighting. This is not permanent. It's just meant to go up and then to come back down. And you're using all commercial grade. You're not using a bunch of stuff from Home Depot. So obviously you have to be mindful of your limitations, but we're also using LEDs. We're not using incandescents like they used back in the day. So LEDs can handle a lot more and use a lot less power, and they're a lot brighter. So we go over all of that stuff in our training too, because when you're a gutter guy or you have a different home service business and you think you get into lighting, that is always the biggest learning curve, is troubleshooting. Is like, what went wrong? What do I do? So we're like, okay, let's follow this 10-step process as you're installing, and you can prevent a lot of that stuff from happening.
And then one thing that I started doing, like because some people just have bad electric, and if I notice that it just keeps popping the GFI and there's something going on and it's not my lights and I don't have a staple in a wire somewhere, then I'll go into the garage where they don't have a GFI and it's not going to pop. And we'll just reroute it to go straight to the garage for the electric. At least I found that's what helps me out. Because then it just quits popping because it doesn't have a GFI to pop.
So, I know a lot of times too, we use Company Cam, which is just like a project management software. And then because we've had times where the client's like, it's your lights. And I'm like, okay, send my guy out there. We're troubleshooting. And then we can record the videos in there that are like time-stamped. And then that way we send it to them. We're like, nope, it's you. It's not me. You got to get the outlet fixed. But that's rare. I mean, it's going to happen. Not as many problems as we would think that we would have when it comes to Christmas.
And for those just jumping on, we are giving out a free Gutter Summit ticket. You just got to comment the word grow, and you'll be put in the raffle. If you have questions, we are live. We could go ahead and answer them for you. Glenn's got a question here. Should I start a separate LLC for the Christmas lights or do it with my gutter company? I mean, the thing is you can do it with your gutter company. I think from a marketing perspective, I like the DBA idea and maybe even starting a separate brand out of it just for marketing purposes. But then again, you got your whole database that you can market to as well. And then you're talking, how many gutter quotes are you doing a week? I mean, these are all people that you could start talking into doing Christmas lights, while you're there doing their install, by the way, who does your Christmas lights, And so, but I think I would go separate with it. What about you, Chelsea?
I would say, at least for your first season, just do the DBA. You'll be fine. Yeah, separate name for sure. So then that way, if whatever happens, it's separate. I wouldn't worry about a separate LLC just yet, just because like your state will have different requirements as far as taxes go, and then GL and workers' comp. You guys are already on ladders and roofs, so it should be very similar, but I would always get a quote too first, just to find out how much more that's going to be if there is an increase, just because you want to make sure everyone's covered. But I would for sure do the DBA route. And then some people I've noticed, whether your name is holiday specific or something generic, to me, I don't think that matters so much. People just want to make sure that you're answering the phone, that they feel taken care of. And I would say when it comes to holiday, people are already in the spirit of like pulling out their card, right? Like, I'm buying Christmas presents, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for that. So when you come to these people and you're like, hey, it's going to be $5,500 for your holiday experience, people are already used to it. So they pull out their card and pay. It's not
an emotional buy. Like no one's emotional about buying gutters. I mean, very rarely, maybe every now and then, but very rarely, right? And so it's like they have lights every year. They want them every year. That's going to ruin their Christmas if they don't have lights every year. And they will spend more money than they spend on gutters. Like, it's not, it blows my mind because I'm in an area where everybody wants to charge $6 a foot for gutters and give it away for free. We don't do that, of course, but I'm getting $12 a foot for Christmas lights. $50 to $60 per strand on the mini lights. And so I'm getting more money than most of these gutter guys are getting for a product that I'm going to take off in a few weeks, and come back and do it again for the same price. And so it's a really cool business.
Yeah, for sure.
Where do you store the lights after takedown? We get these little black totes, or at least I do, with the yellow tops at Home Depot. What are they, like 55-gallon or something like that? And I actually started getting some 27-gallon ones too, because this year I quit putting the mini lights in the same box as the customer. But when I'm doing a takedown, if it's roofline, I'm gonna go ahead and label that box, or the customer's label, and their lights go in their own box. And the following year, we just grab that same box and we're putting those same lights back up.
Yeah, and in the beginning, you can just store them in your garage or whatever, your office space, whatever you have. And I always say, like, take the imperfect action. If you need to go out and get a warehouse or a storage unit after the season, you have some quality problems. That's okay. You've sold enough that you can afford the cost or justify the cost for that warehouse or for that storage unit. So I would for sure just go out and sell the jobs and not worry about where you're going to put it. The bins, however you store it, you just want to label it, because the idea is when you go back the next year, you have all of Mrs. Jones' lights, you know where they're at, and you're ready to rock and roll, and that crew can just get on site and put them up, and you'll also be done a lot quicker your second year, which is why you make even more money.
Absolutely. Glenn, with the DBA, could my insurance cover both? Yes, that's what's good about a DBA, because it's the same business. You're just using a different name to collect the checks. And like, look, if you want to dabble in this, like, lights are a type of, I know so many people that the first year they did it, they maybe did 10,000 or 15,000. They just did a few jobs, and they got the feeling for it, got comfortable with it, and then the following year they did 100,000. And so you don't have to build out a different name right away. You could literally just print 500 yard signs that say Christmas lights on it, or Christmas light installers, and the phone number, and just that's your route this year. The first year, I might not build a website. I might not get another name. Let me just put out 500 yard signs and see what happens. And because I got a ton of calls off 500 yard signs.
Oh yeah, for sure. We always say, like, the yard signs are gold. Like, and that's the first thing I tell people. I'm like, if you don't have money to have a fully branded website and do all this other stuff, like, if you do anything, just do yard signs and you can be super successful. Then the next year you'll have some more money and capital. So it's for sure. You just got to get out there, take the imperfect action.
No doubt. For those just dropping on, if you want to win a free Gutter Summit ticket or get in the raffle too, go ahead and drop the word GROW in the comments, and that will qualify you for the raffle. So you guys starting to do a lot of trainings right now?
We did our first training of the year here in Orange County, California, at our new warehouse. Actually, we did a residential and a commercial training. Next we have coming up, we have Vegas. We'll be in Nashville, Orlando, obviously New Orleans, and then we'll be in Tucker, which is right outside of Atlanta too. If anybody has any questions or they want to see the schedule and see where it's at, you can go to CLIPA.com, and that has all of our training events for the year. Also, if anybody wants more information or wants to set up a consultation just to make sure, like, hey, it's Christmas for me, you can always email me at Chelsea@CLIPA.com. Always happy to take a phone call, Zoom call. I can also connect anyone too with awesome guys, like people like Tim, who have experience, who've had a Christmas business for a few years, and you can talk to them about what's worked, what hasn't worked. We have tons of referrals and references, so always willing to give you guys whatever you guys need to be successful. Our Nashville date is going to be, and I'm sure
I know Quentin's coming to the Gutter Summit. So for those that are just jumping on, I know I said it in the beginning, but let me say it again. CLIPA is going to be at Gutter Summit this year. Gutter Summit kickoff day is the 23rd, but they're going to be there on the 22nd, the same place. It's a full day Christmas light certification training. I took the course. It's completely what got me right to get into the business and be successful. And we're going to have that at the Gutter Summit. So might not be worth going to Nashville if you're already going to the Gutter Summit. There is a discount. Yeah. What is the discount again?
So anyone who's already going to Gutter Summit, you guys save $200. So it would be $795. Any additional attendee that you want to bring from your same company is just $295 each additional attendee. So lots of cool stuff.
And the ones in Nashville are like $1,700.
Yep, $1,695, and that's a 2-day event. So Nashville is July 24th and 25th, and then Orlando is going to be August 24th and 25th. You guys can also go to 𝗪𝗃.com under training, and you can see all of that information too.
Yeah, it's totally worth it. Like, that was the best $1,600 I ever spent. I don't know if I've spent a better $1,600.
I love that. We need to get we're going to get a recording of you saying that at the Gutter Summit so we can put it on our site.
Do it.
No, it's such a small, when you really look at it on like how successful you can be, you're like, it's such a small investment that I made to be set up. And now it's like, obviously it's trending too. People are like, oh, I want to hang Christmas lights because I see how profitable it is. But I always tell people, I'm like, if you're just in here, it's the same as the guys who are like you said, who are charging $6 a foot for gutters.
Yeah.
They never survive. They just will do a bunch of stuff for cheap. They can't run a business. They can't keep employees. When you're charging accordingly or charging the right way, it really makes a difference in your business because you can reinvest in training, safety, like branding, marketing, all of that stuff. Thanks, Court.
For a chance to win a free Gutter Summit ticket, comment the word GROW in the comments and we'll put you in a raffle. Again, CLIPA is going to be at the Gutter Summit on the 22nd. Training everyone. What's Courtney saying here? $9.95 for New Orleans, 1-day trading. If you have a Gutter Summit ticket, as soon as you purchase a Gutter Summit ticket, another page will pop up and it'll give you a chance to add this on for the discount. So that brings you what to $7.95 or
yeah, correct. And we're going to do we have, aside from that, we'll have the training that day there, the day before Gutter Summit, but that evening what we'll do is we'll also have some type of social event too, networking, so we can all get to know each other outside of the training. But lunch will of course be provided too, so it'll be a full day. Because it's 1 day, we're going to make sure too that we're packing in a lot of information for you guys as quickly as possible. And we'll bring a bunch of cool stuff like samples that you guys can take back. We'll practice. We'll do some hands-on, but it's definitely going to be a lot quicker than it typically is when we have 2 days. We're going to just give you guys yes, it's going to be quick. It's going to be a lot of information.
You'll have a booth there too, so they'll be able to have some conversations with you after, and the support after the course is unreal. So it's not like you're just going to take the course and that's it. You're on your own. Like I had questions for Courtney probably every day. That's probably the annoying one. That's how you learn.
No, it's always better. Like we say, we always want people to ask questions. No question is a dumb question because we're here to help you and support you. And that's really what your investment is that you get that ongoing support and just an extension of like somebody on your team that can guide you to make the best decisions for your business during that busy time.
No doubt. I see a few people jumping on. If you want a chance to get a free Gutter Summit ticket, just comment the word GROW in the comments and we'll put you in a raffle. So you guys are mostly commercial now, huh?
Yeah, we are 100% commercial, and we are we do a lot of really cool stuff. And it seems like you would think it slows down for us, but we're pretty busy all year long. So last week, our team, I want to say we pumped out like $700,000 in estimates for permanent lighting and holiday. So pretty crazy. And that was like with cities, casinos, a couple malls, like busy. So doing a bunch of fun stuff that we always, in our commercial division, we see a lot of growth every year. It's painful, but we're like, okay, obviously that's where, I don't want to use the term like recession proof, but with those commercial properties, their budgets are just a little bit different, and they can really, for them, it doesn't matter if there's all this stuff going on politically. They have budgets that they need to spend. They need to, it's taxpayer money that's already allocated, so they need to spend it. Or if you're a shopping mall or a center, you have to drive traffic to that center, especially the fourth quarter of the year, because you're competing with Amazon, Walmart.com, all of these online retailers. If you actually have like a brick and mortar shop, you want to drive as much traffic as possible there. So it's really important that they have that holiday program, or like even the HOAs for them, they have that budget set aside. You know, those people that live in that community are paying that homeowners association fee every year. And for them, it's great to like drive up and see something festive. Even if I don't celebrate Christmas, I like lights. I like to bring my places and like hang out. And Florida, where you are, Tim, is very similar to California. We spend a lot of time outdoors in the wintertime because it's not really cold. We're really lucky. And then if you're somewhere cold, you really need Christmas lights because it's depressing and cold.
I have a lot of Jewish communities around, and we're putting up blue lights for them. They do Christmas lights too. Yeah.
I know a lot of people in like Michigan, Diwali lights are a really big thing for the community. So it really now is all inclusive. It doesn't matter what you celebrate, just lighting in general is a lot of fun and it's festive. And that's like the most important thing.
I'm going to start dabbling in the commercial space. It's a little scary because the jobs in the commercial space, if you guys don't know, I mean, it's not anything for them to be $30,000 to $500,000. I mean, there's some big projects, and they have the budget for it every year.
Yeah. I would say for me, residential is always scarier than commercial because I feel like, oh yeah, like I'm the type of like person, like if somebody comes to my house, I'm like looking out the window, like, what are they doing? Who is that? Who's that with them? You know, where I'm like commercial, for me, I feel less pressure because I'm like, it's not their money. It's somebody who's an employee who just has to make sure that those funds are like spent the best way for the most part. So it's always, I feel less pressure. And as you get more experience, it'll be scary in the beginning because you're like, oh my gosh, I just asked these people for $40,000 and they gave it. What do I do? But now I'm like, okay, this is important. This is why you need it. You know, I know exactly what their problem is. I'm like, here's a solution and here's how we can help. I will say this too. We're not the largest company in our area when it comes to installs. But one thing about our team is that everybody cares. And if everybody knew how we all operated by our core values and how much we just want to make sure that we deliver this white glove experience. Like if they knew how hard Matt worked, the owner of the company, everyone would go with our service. There's no reason why people would say no. And I would say too, it's like a boutique feel. You know, you're not going to call our company and be on hold with an 800 number for 10 minutes listening to Christmas music. You're going to get a live person. You're going to be able to call or text me, and we're going to make sure that we deliver. Or if you need a repair or something fixed, like it's going to get taken care of. And that's what people are paying for when they use your service, is like access to you and your company and your team. And
that's why whether you're doing gutters or lights, that's why you should charge a proper price, because in order to give good service, you got to be able to afford someone that's answering the phone and, you know, that type of thing, so that you can give good service. I think a lot of times people just can't give a good service because they're not charging enough to.
Yep.
And they don't realize it because they think they're doing a good job because they're doing the work, but here goes phone calls not getting answered.
Yep. Yeah, all the time. And that's what I always tell people. I'm like, we're not going to be the low price leader. We can't. We can't. We have insurance. Our teams are certified. They go through training. You know, we're using not the most high-end products, but we're going to use the best products for whatever we're doing for your program. We want to make sure that we're delivering, and that stuff all costs money. But it's like you do, like you said, you get what you pay for. And then not everyone's your customer. Some people, I'm like, hey, if they're giving you that price, you should take it. That's really good. You know, and then they call back the next year. They're like, actually, it wasn't a great experience. I'm like, hey, I totally understand. I'm here to help, see what we can do to like make it right and fix it for you.
I sold a job last week. You might have seen my video on that, but the guy, whoever did it the past 3 years, is doing it for $950, and I'm just not going to do that. So I settled at $1,500, and the guy knows that he's paying more. Like I told him, ain't no way I'm touching that. And but he's paying for experience. He didn't have a good experience. You know, last year he had some problems. He called. The guy was rude. You know, people want to do business with nice people. So I mean, they will pay to have a better experience all day, especially after having a bad one.
Yeah. And the lease model is like you said, it's a service that they're buying. It's not the lights. So you really have to sell the service, because there's nothing that they can keep or hold on to after that season. So after you take the lights down, the only thing they're going to remember is how you treated them. What was their experience when your guys like rolled off the truck and came up and like put the lights up? What was their experience when they called in? You know, all of that stuff is what they're paying for. So it is like you said. And another thing is it's like highly competitive. If you don't answer the phone, I'm going to go on Google and find the next person who's going to answer. I'm just going to keep going until somebody answers and gives me what I want, just like anything else in our lives, it's just like, you got to be there when they're ready.
And it's just, I don't know, they'll pay for it. Like I said, I'm getting $12 a foot on it, and people are having a hard time getting that for gutters. Yeah. Do you have any other upsells while you're on the job site? I'm going to cover that, or?
So there's a couple of things depending on how you sell. I know, so typically when you're offering a package, some people like to offer 3, like a good, better, best. Obviously when the customer calls in, my first suggestion is always to pre-qualify them, because you're going to get people who are tire kickers or people who are basically looking for a handyman. Hey, I have these lights. I just want someone to come put them up. Well, that's okay. But our company doesn't do that. We're an all-inclusive service. Our packages start at $1,000, but the average customer will spend about $2,500 on their holiday experience. What's going to happen is we'll come out, we'll provide you with a free estimate. We'll walk the property, see what you're looking for, and then I'll put a package together and you can choose what works best for you and your family. Just to let you know, our team is trained, certified. We do hold workers' comp as well as general liability. You're going to want to build value in all of those things that you're investing in your company. You want to let them know what you're doing. And so on the pre-qualify on that call, you're saying all these things. So then when your sales rep gets out there, they're saying the same things. So then when you hand them an estimate and it's, they get a few options, but the highest, it's anywhere from, $2,500 to $5,500. They're not shocked. Oh, wow, I didn't know it was going to be that much. No, we told you on the phone exactly what the average customer spends. So that way they're prepared. I do know some guys, they want to train their guys to sell off the truck. I don't know. I don't have like someone I could name off the top of my head that does that. But I guess you have to think too, like who's on my team and what do we already do? If you already have guys, when you guys are rolling out to get there for gutters, are they upselling off of the truck when you're there? Then for sure, tell them like you can upsell wreaths and garlands and all of those things, easy peasy. But if not, your sales rep, I would just have them equipped with like what's being sold and then the scope of work when they get there.
For those just jumping on, we're giving out a free Gutter Summit ticket. If you comment the word grow, we'll put you in the raffle. Michael, what I do as far as the upsells go is I'm using Jobber, but I do a la carte. So I'm going to quote everything. I'm going to come at it as like the designer perspective, because a lot of people just they're not designers, right? So they don't know. They're like, I don't know what I want. You're the expert. And so what I'll do is I'll always quote the roof line. I like to quote trees, but if I see a nice spot for, either garland or a wreath, I'm just going to have a ton of options, and I'm just going to put it on an optional button. I'm not going to come in with a $10,000 bid. I'll probably keep it in line with my average ticket price, which mine was $3,200. So I'll probably have about that much stuff on it. It'll all be optional. Then I'll go through it, and maybe they want to add this or they don't. But I just do a la carte. And once I started doing that, I went from a $2,300 average to a $3,200 average ticket price. So to me, that's what works, because you could easily come up with a $10,000 bid all day on lights, because some people think they're Griswold.
I love it. Yeah. And then sometimes too, like your sales reps and your crew, your installation crews are like different. So sometimes like I know like our installation guys could never handle an upsell. They would be like, they would combust. They can't.
I did a little bit of it. I would give them a cut of it, and they would, I don't know, start talking to people to extra trees and stuff.
Good.
What equipment do you need? Not much, bro. You probably have everything you need. You got ladders, you got trucks. I think you just need some snips, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Maybe. You, like you said, you guys probably have everything that you already need.
Yeah.
Don't worry about anything.
You just got to buy product. It's Christmas lights are super easy to do, and they come in rolls of 1,000 feet, the socket wire, and then you just screw on the bulbs. We use C9s, or at least I do, and it's all customizable. So you could cut it, and then you got vampire plugs. You got females and males that'll go in the ends. That pretty much just clip on. It's not like you got to strip wires and do any real electrical work. You're just literally cutting the wire and pretty much plugging it in the plug, the vampire plug, and they got these little what do you call them?
The teeth.
Yeah, the teeth that stick into it, and so it's super easy. You can't really get any easier.
It's really easy. And that's what's going to separate you from the handyman is those custom extension cords that you're making or custom cutting those C9s to their roof line. That's going to be a lot. And it's all commercial grade too. So I always feel like the bulbs are bigger and brighter. Everything looks a lot better too and a lot cleaner.
They can't get this stuff at Home Depot.
No. And they can try, but they won't be able to. I would in the beginning too, if you don't have like a lot of capital to invest in product, at least get enough so that you can go back and train your crews to show them how to put the lights up, how to take them down, how to put them back up again. But you don't have to go buy a bunch of product if you don't have the capital to do that. You can.
And I start advertising heavy like end of September, beginning of October. That's like when I'm starting to put signs out. So you're selling, you got plenty of time. You don't have to have the product. If you're getting a deposit for 50% deposit, you could have the product within what, like 4 or 5 days, maybe a week at the most.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have to have the product.
Yeah.
I made the mistake. I actually made the mistake of buying like my first year $20,000 worth of all roof line, and then I realized it was all minis down here. I mean, I had roof line, but like I should have bought some minis too. And so I was it didn't affect me none. I just had to buy it on the spot.
Yeah. It's always good if you can be somewhat prepared and have some product, but we all have the same goal in mind, and that's to not have very much inventory left over at the end of the season. And that's why you're going to stock the basics, like your roof line stuff that you had. You're like, okay, if I have some extra next year, it's not the end of the world. And we always say too, like, keep your colors basic. Like, you don't have to buy all the like cool whites and pink and teal. Buy that stuff as you sell it. Just stock the warm whites, the reds, the greens, the multicolor. That's what people want.
Every quote I do, I say to them, "You want warm white, right?"
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
You want the beautiful classic warm white lights, don't you?
Yeah. I'm like, it'll be classy. So I just try to push everyone to warm white, and that way it's not like I got all this inventory everywhere. But I would say most people do warm white. For me, about 80-90%. And then a lot of people like multicolor, and then every now and then you'll do like candy cane. Candy cane's pretty big.
Yeah, that's what I say. I only give them 3 options. It's easier for me and for them because they don't want to be inundated with like too many choices. Like you said, you're the lighting designer and they're looking to you as a professional for whatever suggestions you're going to make. So I just say, these are our 3 options. These are our 3 most popular options. If somebody has like a specific theme in mind, they will tell you from the get, can you do this? Probably on the prequel, they're gonna let you know. So,
and another thing, like you could really make a Christmas light company valuable because you could put them on a 3-year contract. Like that's what I'm doing this year. I'm offering them 10% off to get put on a 3-year contract. It locks their price in, and now I have a contract for 3 years. And say if they want to get out of it the following year, I'm just making them pay me back that 10% discount.
Yeah.
So it's low risk. Why wouldn't they do it? Like they want to save the 10%.
Yep. And for them, I mean, for me, I know if somebody was like, hey, you're going to know exactly what you're paying for the next 3 years in a row. That's amazing. In this economy, for sure. Sign me up.
Yeah, because everything's going up every year. So it locks them in.
Yeah, for the last 6 years, everything just keeps going up. So it's like to know what you're going to pay for the next 3 years, I think is well worth it. And to know you have someone like, oh, wow, you're going to be around. This is a long-term thing that we're doing here.
So we're going to be on for a couple more minutes. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask it now. Here's pretty much your last chance if you want to get on this raffle. We are giving out a free Gutter Summit ticket. Just got to comment the word grow in the comments, and we'll put you in the raffle. We'll be announcing who's that winner tomorrow. One more question here. If I'm not mistaken, you lease lighting for commercial.
Yeah.
Yes.
Glenn, you have a lot of really great questions. But yeah, you're correct. We for sure do it for commercial, and they love it for them because oftentimes, as we know, warehouse space is really expensive. So a big commercial property loves it because they know, hey, you guys are going to take care of the lights. You'll put them up. You'll take them down. If anything goes wrong, you'll replace them. And then the nice part about a commercial property too is they want to change their theme every 3 to 5 years most of the time. So if they know, it's kind of like leasing a car. This is great. I'm going to drive it. I enjoy it. But hey, the next newest, hottest thing that is out, I want to change it up. And then it allows you to change up the lease again. And then for you as a business owner, it's great because I own that product. Perfect. Now I can go use that on a different property. Maybe have some light refurbishment, but then I'm making, even more money. And your profit margins in commercial are very high, 80%, 75%.
Yeah, that's huge margins.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Very. For those that are just hopping on, CLIPA is going to be at the Gutter Summit this year. They have a 1-day Christmas light certification that's going to be on the pre-show day. Gutter Summit kicks off on the 23rd, but they're going to be there on the 22nd giving out certification. So when you purchase your Gutter Summit ticket, it'll take you to another page, and on that page, just go ahead and add it. You're getting a discount. So I mean, I spent $1,600-1,700 to get certified. You'll be able to do it at the Gutter Summit for about a little less than $800 for adding it on. So super valuable. The best $1,600 I've ever spent. What's up, Grant?
Yeah, I'm excited for everyone. Last year, I got to meet a lot of really cool people when we were at the show. So I'm really excited to be a part of it this year too.
So Michael, I'm actually this year, I'm getting earlier and earlier because for me to make more money, I got to get more done. So I'm trying to extend the season. I'm going to be starting October 1st. That's probably not going to happen the first year you launch. I don't think I really had any installs until the last week in October, my first year. And I still did $250,000 that year. But then it goes on, it starts to die off like first, second week in December, so a lot of people, they don't want it in October. The way that I get them to do it is I just tell them that we'll put it on and you don't have to turn them on until you're ready. So we'll just keep it unplugged and they'll plug it in and they're ready to go. So, and I've also, given out discounts for October installs as well.
Yeah. And then takedowns just happen. Obviously, if you're dealing with an HOA, you need to abide by whatever they have. But most of the time, your takedowns, we start takedowns. We have some clients that go up and down before Christmas even starts. And then we have some like really January 2nd is go time for us. And we're just trying to get as much down as possible. But we teach you to do a done by date. So you'll have like the install will be done by, let's just say November 15th. But our team can come anytime before that. Or you just know that no matter what, everything will be ready to go by the 15th. And it's the same with the removal. Most people are saying like January 7th is when we want to remove by. So we say that's the done by date. Our team will come out anywhere between the 2nd and the 7th, and we'll give you 24-hour notice when we're on the way out.
So for me, I typically start like on the 5th or 6th or whatever that first Monday falls on. And then we're usually out there for about 3 weeks, taking them all down. If you could put up 4 jobs in a day, you could take down 8 or 10. It comes down super fast, very fast.
Yeah, the idea is when you're doing takedowns, we don't want you to take a ladder off of the truck.
Is this something you could do in a rural town? Yeah, absolutely. You probably do a lot of roof line, but you'll do what you sell. The more stuff that you're offering, the more that you'll sell. If you're in a rural area and you only got 12 to 15,000 people, I would consider doing an hour radius. I coach a lot of guys in rural areas, and usually if you expand the territory, it helps. Like I like to at least come up with like 250,000 population personally, and usually you could do that by just expanding an hour radius. So if you're just in one city, I would try to think of it more like a county or two and having like an hour radius, because it's not too hard to service an hour radius. Any supplemental service would. Oh yeah, that's why I talk about this stuff. I think it's great for gutter guys. This is when a lot of guys are slow, and January's slow. Like you'll have takedowns to do, and you don't have to go as hard as I do. You don't have to, like, for me to do $250,000, it takes like a 3-man crew. So you could set up one 3-man crew and you could go kind of heavy, or you could do 50,000 and have a job a day that you're doing after the gutter installs, or just fitting it in throughout the week. And now next year, you're only gonna have to spend about 10% of that to get it put back up. You'll have 40,000 profit if you don't add another job in. So it's very profitable if you add this as an add-on service.
Yeah, and like Tim said, Shay, for you guys, if you can just extend out that service area, because you have to remember this is a high margin, high ticket. Our clients are upper middle class, so if you can travel just a little bit further and do those installs, it would make a huge difference. And one thing to consider too is you're going to schedule your jobs or your estimates all in like the same area on the same day. So that would be the best use of your time. So obviously if I'm going an hour this way or an hour that way, I'm not going to, I want to make sure I'm making the most of my time and my cruise time. But it would make a huge difference. You're not going to care if you're driving to where the money is. It'll be worth
and I don't drive without pre-qualifying. So like literally my office's job is to get rid of as many people as I can. Like I'm going to tell you, I have a $1,500 minimum.
Yep.
If you don't like it, like I'm just not coming out. So I would say 40 to 50% of my calls I throw away. But the ones I go to are serious, they're price condition, and that's why I have a $3,200 average ticket price. I'm not wasting my time. Like when I took your class, they said that like that average was 20%. It would have been had I had actually did all the quotes, but I'm not going to. My closing rate was like 55 to 60%. And that's because I filtered it. Had I have done all those, I just would have wasted a lot of time, and it would have been exactly what you guys said, 20%. So I'm just kind of getting rid of those people.
Yeah, which is great
before going out there. Yeah.
Yeah,
if you're driving an hour, you don't want to waste your time.
Yep.
Beautiful.
I love it. Good for you, Shay.
Well, that's all I got. You guys got one more chance. If you want to go ahead and get put in the raffle, go ahead and comment GROW in the comments. We're going to be doing that raffle tomorrow. Give you like 60 seconds here to do it. If not, someone else is winning. And CLIPA is going to be here on the 22nd, September 22nd. They're doing a full day Christmas light installation course for those just dropping in. And when you purchase the Gutter Summit ticket, another page will pop up and you'll be able to add that on.
Perfect. Yeah. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to message me, email me, Chelsea@CLIPA.com. Happy to set up a discovery call with you guys and see if you're ready to take the leap into lighting.
Yeah, no, it's a super cool business. Once you get into it, you'll fall in love with it.
For sure. I would say after you've been in Christmas 5 seasons, you're a lifer. I've been doing this now since 2018. So I'm like, oh, maybe, and now I'm like, what else would I do? And when I first started working in Christmas, like people were like, Christmas, like, that's so weird. You sell Christmas lights? I'm like, I know. It's crazy. But it's so fun. You do that year round? I'm like, yeah, can you believe it?
They're always like, what do you do the rest of the year? Christmas.
Hang out at the North Pole, duh.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on, Chelsea. I'm super excited to have you guys at the summit. It's super valuable. I appreciate you guys even doing it. I know you had to kind of change things to be able to cram it into one day.
No worries. No, we appreciate it. It's going to be a great event. You guys, I will say this, we had such a great time at Gutter Summit. You guys do a great job of keeping everyone together and just making it like you could go and not know anyone and have an amazing time and leave with like 200 friends. So I just want to like commend you guys on that because it's an awesome event. If you haven't been, I highly suggest you go. We'll be our 3rd year going as a vendor, and we have a great experience every time. So when you guys asked, we were like, of course we'll be there. We'll make it work. We'll move some stuff around.
And know me and my partners and everyone there, we try to do it better every year. So we're going to give it our all.
Yep. Yeah, you guys do a great job.
And that's guttersummit.com. So, all right, I appreciate you, Chelsea. If you guys need anything, feel free to reach out to me, reach out to Chelsea. If you don't know how to get a hold of Chelsea, you can reach out to me and I'll go ahead and get you guys connected. So appreciate you for coming on. Appreciate everyone, and everyone have a great night.
Thanks, Sam.
See ya.